we go. Look at the camera. Hey everybody, this is Dave Cooper, and this is round 2. We are in West Islip, New York. I am standing with MODLIQ, Director of Business Development, Jim Gabriel, and behind us, Jim, is half a building which your company just built.
There. We're
right?
almost there, yep.
I mean, this is absolutely amazing. So we're in West Islip, New York, Good Samaritan Hospital. We were live this morning, which was great. We were just showing the beginning start, of this with Axis Construction Group. But now we're almost halfway through the day. We have the modules, for the most part, I think halfway done, pretty much in place. And we're going to do a walkthrough of this place, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
let's take everyone in.
We should. So first, I mean, it's 85%, well, not yet, but by tomorrow, 2 p.m., hopefully, this will be 85% done. So people have to understand, when we walk in here, there's going to be a lot of things already in place, ready to go. It might be a little dark in areas because we don't have power and we don't have light, but this is a pediatric addition. 6,500 square feet, I think, is what they were saying. So a pediatric addition to this hospital on the backside of the emergency room. How long have you been working at this?
This has been a long time. I mean, probably, year and a half.
Yeah.
In the developmental stage. In terms of the project itself, we started construction in our plant in December.
Right
around Christmas time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is just amazing. It's funny, behind us, if you hear them talking, we have nurses, doctors, I don't know. No, you're fine. Listen, thank you for everything you guys do. Hopefully this is going to help you at the pediatric clinic here. So this is exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So you ready? Let's walk inside and let's see what we got going on. Jim, you lead the way.
Yeah, so we're going to go back into the back half of the building. This is gets a little dark in here, but hopefully we got some.
We'll let him get in there, and then go ahead and.
We've got some lights to light the way.
Yeah, we got a couple lights set up in here. So, all right, watch the palette. All right, so let's kind of just
Dave,
hold
right
up.
Here,
come over here real quick. Let's talk about what we have going on. This entrance here. So, what is this right here, Jim?
So this is where we tie into the existing building. So when we're all closed in, we'll open this up. We're going to connect sprinkler, domestic water, all the piping, electrical through this opening here.
Right into this. So this is the emergency room on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. So, but look above us. Hey, just pan up real slow for a second and talk about. I mean, we have domestic lines. We have looks like we have everything: waste, domestic water.
It's always impressive
gas
to
piping.
me. I mean, it's complete, and this was all complete in the factory. We disassembled it. All those connections across the mate line, which is unusual, not unusual for us, but unusual in the industry to be able to have all that complete in the factory. And I mean, it looks like it was poured in here, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, you got your HVAC in here. I mean, literally all your MEPs are here. You just need to tie into the next unit.
Everything's air tested. All the ducts are protected, dust protected. Prior to during construction in the factory, and that's just it's a coupling between ductwork, between pipes.
Yeah.
We'll run all our final electrical through the conduits.
Right.
You see the zip tie. This is we're talking about the connection points and the sort of responsibilities off-site and on-site. It's as simple as a pipe connection zip tied to the pipe that it connects to. So.
Right. Yeah, absolutely amazing. What's the red danger?
So the red, if you can hear me.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
The red tags that are hanging down, that indicates where a MEP connection is taking place. The yellow tags that you'll see hanging, that's a structural connection.
Got it.
So it's just a means of making it very simple to identify where work needs to take place, whether it be MEP work or structural. Both connection that would take place up in the ceiling.
Sure.
So
Awesome.
That's really all that's for.
I love it. All right, let's look around. Fire extinguisher.
We don't miss much in the factory.
Yeah.
For sure. In terms of finishes, we take everything to a first coat of finished paint.
Right.
So once we get we get in here and finish mate line work, any other connection, any other of the components that cross the mate line, you put a final coat of finish paint on it, and you're good to go.
Hey, so Dave, just focus in on this in the mate line here. What's so impressive about your construction and the commercial industry is, I mean, that is slab on level. I mean, both sides, very, very little, you know, out of plumb. I mean, you're thinking this is coming how many hundreds of miles from PA? You're putting it in on site. Look how accurate that is. That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we're known for is precision.
Right.
Complexity and precision. So if it's an application like this, it's a pediatric emergency room project. The MEPs are insane, but that's what we're known for. We're known for precision. We're known for getting as much done in the factory as humanly possible.
Yeah, I mean, this is wonderful. I mean, you even have the grates in place to put up the drop ceiling.
Yeah. We don't. We hold off on tile because there's a lot of work that has to go has to be done. Well, actually, not a lot of work, but there's work that needs to be done overhead. So that's all part of the finish work.
Right. Am I seeing sprinkler systems there?
Yep.
Is that the black pipe with the drop down right here in the tile?
Black pipe with the
You can show that, Dave.
connector, so we can get the head centered right in the tile.
All right, so you already have your fire system in place, so that means just a local fire system company, or do you have a company that comes out?
No, we handle that on site.
Locally.
So what we'll do is we'll make the interconnects from module to module.
Right.
You'll see in this room that we're about to enter, that's the sprinkler mechanical room. You'll see the riser.
Yep.
We'll bring the service into here.
Okay.
And then it feeds the building.
Sure. Love it. David, I want to show this room. Maybe you can just pan in there and we can talk a little bit about it. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what's going on there, other than, I mean, it is a jungle of wire that's very well organized.
It looks a mess right now, but this is obviously our electrical closet. And what we've done here is all of these cables that you see are spooled together, will be run to certain locations throughout the building to complete your home run. So this will all be pulled through the conduits that are throughout the building to the various locations to then bring all the circuitry back here into the panel box.
Wow.
So everything is in effect pre-wired. Each spool has a very specific location that it's going to go to. Each bundle of cables goes with it, and it will make the completion of this so much quicker.
Right.
Because we're going to be able to pull these cables through, you know, a couple weeks, everything will be pulled through, the connections will be buttoned down, and then we'll be able to start to use the lighting that's in here as we get some temp power into the panels, and then we'll use the lighting that's in the ceiling as opposed to just standard work lighting.
Right. So what's just completely amazing before we move on is, you know, people understand, or they think they understand what offsite is, but they really do not get how much is done and how much complexity with MEPs, you know, in electrical and wiring can be done in offsite construction, because they think it's in pieces. You can't do this stuff. I mean, that's a testament of just some really smart people figuring out a really complicated wiring system.
And that was a lot of coordination and work between MODLIQ, electrical subcontractor, and ours.
Sure.
There's a lot of coordination, a lot of meetings, a lot of planning to where everybody's talking with each other. We put our subs in touch with their subs, and that's how we're able to come up with this system.
Sure.
Everybody knows what they're going to get. Our subcontractors visit the plant. They're required to do that during construction.
Yep.
So everybody's on the same page and they know what they're going to get, and there's no surprises.
Right.
You know, when it lands.
That's really an orchestration when it really comes down to it. All of these things, and that's really the benefits of the true.
It's a tight hall, and we're trying to keep our social distancing, so I don't want you to feel like you're in the background here. You lead the show.
It really comes down to, like John said, coordination, collaboration between all the disciplines, and that's what the difference between true offsite and modular volumetric construction is: the ability to be able to take all those scopes and take them offsite to a large degree, because that's the true benefit.
Absolutely.
From a cost standpoint, from a schedule standpoint.
Sure. All right, well, let's check out this closet in here. Do we have some more line on this? I'll just walk it in, and I'll tell you what, let's stand over here, and we can talk about this, because you told me, John, something that I thought was really, really, really interesting about your tank here. That's
So
fill us in on this.
So Right below that tank is a floor hatch. And that tank is going to drop down into the foundation below grade. That's our sump pit.
Okay.
We had it shipped down to MODLIQ, which you can see now we've
Yeah.
shipped to the to the site in here. Would have been a little bit too cumbersome, a little bit too big to get through the doorway.
Right.
So now what will happen is, and here's our pumping equipment. We also have our sprinkler riser here, but that tank in the next day or two will be lowered down through the floor hatch,
Right.
down into the pit that's already within the foundation.
Yep.
And then all of our piping, will be completed. Our subcontractor
Yeah.
will come in, make all of his connections in the crawl space back into this pit,
Right.
and then it'll be, pumped out.
So, I mean, all right, so let me just, to clarify this, to simplify it. You designed this all the way in Pennsylvania. You knew you needed a sump pit. This unit has a hole in the floor, and this is right above the hole that's underneath it. And you're just going to move this, open up the hole, and lower it right in. You have all of your pump equipment right here in the room, ready to be connected. And you're up and running, and nobody has to hurt themselves carrying that.
No.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, we
That's
already
metal.
checked. The hole is right below where
Yeah.
it needs to be.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
That would not probably be a good thing if it wasn't. But that's all the pre-planning. I always talk about it. The devil's in the detail, and it's a ballet of coordination.
And that was a bit of a change, in post design, which is the other benefit of how we do things. If you're running these mods down an assembly line, you can't stop that assembly line. It's a complex project. It's still construction, and changes are come, right?
Right.
And so it's a flexibility.
That's a great point, Jim,
Yeah.
about the change that came. This change actually came after we were in fabrication. This tank system and pump system was supposed to be inside of the existing hospital.
Right.
But in light of the current situation that we're all dealing with, right behind that wall are COVID patients, that is the ER.
Yep. Okay.
So there was just no way that we were going to be able to do the work up front
Yeah,
in
for
the
sure.
hospital. The design team quickly got together, and in a matter of just a couple of days came up with a design change, structural change for the flooring system, all new piping systems and calculations, and they jumped right on it, and this is what the end result was.
Right. Right.
So we're able to change very quickly on the fly to get this to happen. So that this way, as soon as they give us some room inside to work, we'll be able to go inside and make the connection.
Yeah, for sure.
Fortunately, patient numbers are dropping,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's safety first. That's what I love about you guys. Honestly, I mean, this is between watching everybody actually tying off and doing everything. It's a pleasure. I go on a lot of job sites. You do not see that everywhere. So
It's a safe site.
Appreciate
yeah. Good work,
Safety
man.
is a benefit that's not always
Right.
talked about in terms of off-site construction,
Yeah.
and what that does, not just for safety on site, but minimal disruption on site to what's going on the other side of that wall.
Sure.
Right? That's what's most important.
All right, so this is 65 or 6,600, 6,500, somewhere in that
Just short of
range, just
7,000.
short of 7,000. We've only been in a little part of this. Half of it's done. So what you're telling me, there's another 3,000 square feet that we can go see, right?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
You'll be walking through. We'll take you now through the rest of the half of the building that's
Yeah.
here, and you'll see some of the exam rooms.
Right.
And where the nurses' station will be.
Sure. And as we're going, I mean, stop. If there's something that's really interesting that you think people should see, let us know and let's point it out, because, this is a one-time opportunity right now for people to actually have an inside look. I mean, these aren't trailer parks. I mean, these are 5-inch. Oh, I had a question for you. We had a question earlier.
Okay.
The concrete floors, is it lightweight concrete? It's a good question, right? That's what I said.
It's not.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
not.
Yeah.
We can do lightweight concrete, and most times we do.
Yep.
But for this particular application, no.
Yeah, so I think that was Alistar or somebody that was asking. So great.
Yeah, the heavy buildings for sure.
Yeah.
And we needed the fire rating. This is a complete 2-hour assembly, floor, walls,
Ceiling,
You can
right.
see the fire spray. The firewalls are marked. So now this particular one is
Sure, right.
Yeah, and
I mean, amazing.
we keep the module sizes down for that reason, in terms of the overall weight.
Right.
You know, our typical module sizes are probably smaller than a typical modular manufacturer. So we don't have to go the extent of lightweight concrete, you know, for these types of applications.
Right.
But as John mentioned, it's definitely an option depending
Sure,
on
sure.
the
Well, especially
type
if you
of
go
project.
longer, larger, right, I guess
Yeah.
there's places for it, but not
Yeah.
this one. Perfect. Well, let's walk back through this way. And we're going to have you speaking. Come on. You can't hide in the background all day.
Or grab this light.
Yeah, let's bring that light back out here. Please go ahead. You got it? So, how come I didn't get a hard hat like that one? I like that hard hat.
How come I don't?
I love it.
Negotiations for this.
Yeah. So we'd probably be all right out here. How are we on the can you see okay? Yeah, perfect. So let's walk through here. So again, we have a mate line here, right? Mate line. We already have the door bumper on so we don't damage our walls.
Right, all the wall protection is already in. This is
Yeah.
a very, it's an
Yeah, look at
Alpro
that.
wall protection.
Right, right. Okay.
So actually it comes with a pretty substantial warranty.
Uh-huh.
So the contractor, the subcontractor that started the work down in MODLIQ plant
Yep.
is actually going to follow the work up here to finish, because this
Right.
is all heat seamed and welded.
Yeah.
So to maintain the warranty, that contractor follows the work to the site.
Got it. You know, and it's painted. Is this the hospital paint color they wanted?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah, I love
you're
it.
going to see all the different
All
colors.
the color
in the exam
selections.
rooms,
I mean, pediatric, right? I mean, this is my
Yeah,
kids.
you'll see it.
I'm going to
It's
go
their
home and
choice.
hear why can't my walls be like that. That's kind of how it works. We got yellow there. You know what? Hey, look at one other thing. Drinking fountains are in. Show them that, David. Look, already in place, ready to go. I'm thirsty. I love it. All right, all right.
Yeah, then that's one of the things, Dave. You know, because our buildings are so structurally, I always say they're built like tanks.
Right, right.
We're going to go over the road. We're going to pick them from the top.
Yeah.
They're rigid. They're stout. We have the ability to be able to install fountains, sinks.
Yeah.
Um,
Right, right.
Here, Dave, this
This
one might be
one might be better over here.
expensive doors, glazing. We're not afraid to ship
We'll stand on
these
this side
kinds
over
of
here
things.
and kind of show
all
us
these
what.
kinds of components inside
Yeah,
the
yeah.
building.
So David, let's show them this room, right? So we already have it painted. You can see they have all the hookups for the equipment that they would have in a pediatric or regular, room, already ready to go. They got their switches, they got their wash sink, and again, I mean, they got most of the ceiling up there and all the MEPs in the ceiling. This is phenomenal. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal. And you got the floor protected. So this is concrete here.
Right,
Is there vinyl under that
is
already?
the finished flooring.
Okay.
The finished flooring is in all the exam rooms
Yeah.
around the perimeter of the building.
Yeah.
The med gases are all in, your emergency power, backup power, wall protection, painting.
Yeah.
So this is basically a completed room. Your automatic doors
Yep.
are all installed at MODLIQ's plant.
Sure.
This is the wood that you see is really just for protection.
Right. Love it. I love it. All right, so let's talk about just typical modular, right? We have our flooring in place already, right? These are already here, ready to go. We got our floor tiles in place. You have all your, wiring, supplies, finished baseboard rolls. I'm assuming that's what that is. You got sheetrock, or what is that, mud? I guess that's all. Yeah, sheetrock mud. Yeah, I mean,
everything that you need to finish the
Complete.
envelope of the building
Right.
is shipped loose from MODLIQ.
right, right. Well, this is great. So, David, why don't you pan out there and say, all right, well, we're in half of this building. There you go. So,
There's the rest of it.
where's the rest of it? Well, I know where it
Back
is.
tomorrow.
Come back tomorrow, right? I'm sure there's a desk in here and everything, right? There's got to be a
Right,
station
so
for,
this area that you see here going across,
right?
about another 2/3 is the nurse's station.
It is, okay.
So there'll be a large island here, which will be the nurse's station. We'll be installing a pneumatic medicine
Okay.
delivery system that
Yep.
will be tied into the pharmacy in the existing hospital.
Okay, okay.
So that'll be a pneumatic tube system that gets installed on site to deliver medicines right to
Right, right.
the ER.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely amazing. So I'm just looking at some. So we got a mate line there. We got this mate line over here. I just really love to show this because this can be the Achilles heel to some modular builders. Look at how tight this is. It's not just one way; it's both ways. You know, I mean, that's just sheer impressive. You know, impressive to me because that just does not happen in traditional modular.
You've got multiple mate
Yeah.
lines.
Everywhere.
Traditional guys would look at this and say, there's too many mods here. But because our buildings are so tight and the tolerances are so tight, we can take a building like this and break it down in unusual ways to accommodate the build, not necessarily the project, not necessarily how we build it in the factory, and the tolerances. I mean, it's not unusual. In this build, we've got multiple, as you pointed out, multiple modules and multiple mate lines. But it's not unusual for us to have the floor coverings in a lot of these common areas too, because we know that building's already been together once. We know what that tolerance is.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, from a logistical standpoint, I believe that's where you come in with a lot of the knowing where things are and what's happening, right? I told you I was going to wrangle you into this.
I couldn't wait.
So I think, let me grab my mic so we can hear you nice and clear too. We only have the 2 mics, so we don't have a system, but it looks like this is going to happen more often. We're going to have a bigger system for all this. All right, so your role and all, we're inside here now. We spoke earlier on the other live feed.
Right.
Tell us where you fit in right now.
I fit in, I handle submittals and RFIs and collaborations between the design team and the modular team and our team, the project managers and all that good stuff. And I do whatever's needed, basically.
Right.
Assisting.
Well, from what I'm hearing, you do a lot more than what's ever needed and a lot more than assisting. I think you're being a little light on yourself there. But, I mean, this is a whole lot of coordination. This is a whole lot of paperwork. We were talking a little bit earlier about just the submittal process to get from the manufacturing facility to permitting. I mean, it's got to be a stack of paper a mile high.
There is a ton of paperwork, especially when you're dealing with modular, because you've got the submittals and the RFIs from the modular company, and then you've got the submittals and the RFIs from the subcontractors, from the on-site subs.
Okay.
And they need to collaborate not amongst themselves, but through us to make sure that, dialots match or products themselves match, because there might be different types of fireproofing and so on and so forth. So everything, those products all need to be the same, so they would coordinate through us. We also work with the design team, and it all comes together.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, you guys are all doing a great job. So what else can we see while we're in here? I mean, other than everything, why don't we look at some of these other rooms that we have?
You want to
walk us through?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's,
sorry.
We can kind of step through.
You probably just stay right.
I mean, this gives you the sense of almost a completely finished room.
Yeah.
Head walls, med gases, all pre-piped, all pre-tested, air tested, ready to be connected and then finally certified here inside the on the project.
Look how close that crane is.
Glazing.
Can you see it?
Oh, the crane, yeah.
Yeah, that's how tight it is that it works. Love it.
It's a beautiful sight when it all comes together. But
and just looking around, I mean, look at this. You're not seeing cracking anywhere. You might get it in the corners a little bit. It flexes a little bit, but I mean, you can't argue this.
It's minimal. I mean, you see, and you pointed that out. There's a crack there. It's going to happen where you want it to happen.
Sure.
And that's why we'll take it to the first coat of finished paint. We know there's going to be some work done, need to be done on site, but.
So underneath here we have a big, heavy hospital-style door. You got the glass enclosed doors right here. I mean, they're already in place. And my guess is they're plumb, considering everything else is plumb. Right? Let's go. I think. Do we want to walk back this way, or which way you want to go?
No, we got to go this way.
Yep. We got too much going on over there, so David, lead the way that way. Maybe we can do a walk on the outside here once we leave, because I don't think we have any more modules for today. That was the last module. So why don't we show everybody from the exterior, because we all know where we started with that one module.
Yep.
where the door is,
Exactly.
where we come in, and let's walk out and do it. So Jim, as you're in here, this is your product. You got your keen eye going. You're going,
Yeah,
all right, let's look.
I'm a stickler for detail.
Right.
I like to.
Go ahead, please.
I used to be the last guy in on projects as the punch list guy.
Right,
Come
right.
in, and I would write a punch list up before my customer wrote a punch
Yeah.
list up.
Well, it looks to me like your job's pretty easy. You must be on Easy Street here, but
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. So
Our
it's still
guys in
built
the
by
plant.
people, right? It's still built by people. You still have issues that come up. It's always just a matter of how you handle the issues, right? I mean, I've never been on a job site that's been 100% perfect, ever.
Like you said, it's still construction.
It's still
So,
construction,
how it
right?
comes,
Right.
It's how you take it. It's how you handle it. The key is, again, I mean, I can't emphasize more, you know, the collaboration and the experience that we have collectively on not just this project, but every project we've done. We've learned a little more each step along the way.
Right.
We'll do a post-mortem after each project, and we'll do lessons learned. But
Sure.
there's so much to be said for, you know, from the design to the design architectural, all of those disciplines, design disciplines, the MEPs, all the subcontractors, general contractor. It's really a general contractor who's the maestro.
Yeah, for sure.
And they've really got to know what they're doing to be
Is
able
he
to
pretty good?
pull this together. John is one of the best. One of the best.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that.
Good. Well, we're going to walk a little slow because David's going to kind of go backwards with the camera. We're going to work our way around, and the camera will need to catch up with the light, I think, a little bit as we come here. So, hey, David, let's stop right there and just talk. We were talking earlier about this rebar, John, about how it's bent over. And what you were saying is there's actually going to be a brick ledge put in here, right? And I'm assuming this is the drip flashing for it, and it's going to come up, and this is going to lock all this in down here, too. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Accurate?
So we have to finish the sheathing.
Right.
We'll piece this in. We'll finish this sheathing here, and then what will happen is the brick ledge will get poured. This will
Right.
be a single pour. After that's done, then we're going to use the precast.
Yeah.
And bring that up to just underneath and make
Sure.
that weather tight. So this will all be flashed and weatherproof.
Right.
This way we get a nice tight seal, a nice waterproof seal, so that we don't get any leakage down into the crawl space.
Sure. Can you kind of tell us about the layers of the wall? I mean, I see we got the brick, we got our weep holes, we got our flashing. What are we using here?
Yeah, so this
Is that a
membrane
fiber cement or
here-
something?
Yeah, so it is a sheetrock finish, but it has a rubberized membrane
Okay.
on the product already, and you see how every fastener
Right.
is sealed.
Yeah, it is.
And again, this is all done by folks that have been trained, and a warranty comes with it. So there's no penetrations that would be unsealed, even behind here.
Uh-huh.
So what this does is creates a nice tight water barrier so that we don't get any water infiltration into the building.
Right.
So it's a great system. When we piece this in, this will all be sealed and flashed with
Yeah.
the tape, and then you'll see the mud or
Right.
putty go on there to seal that.
And what's this for?
This is just a backer rod. This
Got
is,
it.
MODLIQ puts it in, and that's what we'll fasten
To finish it off.
the sheathing to.
Got it. And then you got your fire rated.
Right, so this is the 2-hour spray.
Yep.
We're also going to have to insulate this. There'll be some insulation
Sure.
that will go behind here before the
Yep.
sheathing goes up.
Okay.
Sheathing will go in, vapor barrier, pour the brick slab,
Yep.
and then we'll finish
Yeah.
the brick.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So, and I mean, same thing. So we're using some metal frame studs on the inside walls, 6-inch, right?
Yeah, everything
Yep.
is metal stud on the building.
Everything. Perfect. And again, that 5-inch concrete floor, I'm so impressed by that.
Great.
So everybody knows too, we are only a block and a half from the Long Island Sound. We were talking earlier, this is a floating slab on a grid, right? Which I think is amazing. And everything is actually, I was watching the welder earlier, and I think we'll show that, you know, when we get a chance, but the welder's actually welding all this stuff down. In fact, he's cleaning up now. So let's keep on and take a look at it from this angle. So what do you think, Jim? You happy?
I'm ecstatic. I mean, I'm always impressed. Every project we do is unique.
Right?
I'm always impressed with the work that we do collaboratively. Again, I'm like a kid on every one of these projects. I'm just as impressed as someone who hasn't seen it before.
Right.
You know, it's it's a unique process.
Yeah,
like
it
I
is.
said, and I've been doing it since with NRB, which is now MODLIQ.
Right.
Since you know, probably the late 90s.
Yeah.
With this type of construction and in these types of applications. So I mean, there's no greater gratification I have than to see these projects come together from the design to the implementation and really what it's and mostly what I get, particularly these healthcare applications, is what it does for the hospital.
Sure.
How it provides them with the ability to be able to see more patients sooner, like I always say, but it's real construction.
It is real construction, and it is for a good cause, and it's great. We were talking earlier with the president. It's great for the community, and you know what? There's like with this type of construction, the disruption to the local residents, to the hospital, to the patients, is minimized by months, if not almost a year.
Sure. Yeah.
With this type of construction.
Yeah, when you think about it, I ran into a little bit of traffic on the way in here, and I'm wondering what's causing all this traffic. Well, it was
right.
John's guys and
the trucks.
And the trucks. Yeah, I mean
You're still mic'd up, by the way.
Hugely important. It's hugely important.
Yeah, it is.
And John will tell you, on a conventional site, how much of a laydown area do you need to have?
Right.
How much disruption this is to the community, to the hospital.
Right.
Operational disruption is huge for hospitals and healthcare organizations. So it's.
Yeah. But you know, the big thing, and I'm going to go towards, you know, the finance, money talk a little bit on this. It's time, right? This is where people have a hard time understanding what this is. That's why it's so much fun to show, right? The time that it would take from getting from that plate to what that is right now is a long time, months and months and months. So these were being built at the same time as all this site and slab work is being done. All right, so that's savings number one. A lot of people, and because I have this conversation all the time, and I love it, because the other side of this is you have less risk to workers and people and disruption, less, you know, workman's comp issues, people getting hurt, because you're doing this in a controlled environment, which means less time on site.
Yeah.
And the precision, right? We all know that we have trade labor issues. You know, you can really monitor everything that's happening. I mean, like we saw the precision in there. That's done by pros. That's not done, you know, cutting the 2x4 across on your boot.
Sure.
You know, this is real work. So, I mean, the value in this type of construction, most people can't figure out because they don't know how to think of the whole way through. They just say, oh, well, you know, all my materials are this, I can do it for this. But the reality of it is, when you add it all together, you can't. I mean,
it's hard to duplicate.
Yeah.
And the other big thing that we really try to press upon, you know, our clients is the idea of cost certainty. Right?
Yeah,
it's not just a reduced cost because of all those things, and it's really an equation. It's not any cheaper to do it, but it's more efficient.
Yep.
And the cost certainty comes in where relative to all those design decisions that have to be made up front. I mean, that's the most uncomfortable part for clients and designers and design professionals is being forced to make those decisions up front. But when you do make those decisions up front, you've got fewer. You
go into it with confidence,
changes,
right.
Throughout the project. So you don't get the change orders, you don't get the cost escalations, and there's no magic to it.
Right.
It's just it's based on what I just described.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important for people to understand. You know, the whole cycle of it. You got to look at everything, and you know, I mean, how many times do you hear, you know, the cost overruns that happen on jobs? To have a controlled cost, you know, listen, I love it.
Scheduled cost certainty.
Yeah. All right, so what do we have going on out here then? We got sewer and water. These are all utilities
all of our
feeding?
Detention system.
Yep.
We had to put in a whole new detention system. I think it's 12 tanks altogether.
Okay.
This was a parking lot.
Yep.
So with bringing the building in, we had to relocate a lot of the detention tanks that were here. So
yeah.
Special.
And then, so the crane, looks like they're going to move over, or are they just re-rigging for something different?
They're just putting a different system on the hook for tomorrow.
Okay, good. Love it. Well, why don't we walk back over here? I mean, we've covered a ton today. I noticed they started cutting the rebar. Here comes the wind. Watch your eyes. So that's it. They're saying we're done. Time to go home. Time to go home. So let's walk over here, and then we're going to be, Jim, back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., right? and we're gonna go live again at 9 a.m. and then we're gonna go live again at 2 p.m. tomorrow. I don't know if you're sticking around or not, but you know, these guys will be here tomorrow, right? So we're gonna mic some of you guys up tomorrow.
That sounds fine.
Excited about that?
Sure.
Dude, you have a cool helmet, but you have like the serious helmet. I love it. I love
Wars
it.
helmet.
This is the standard for New York City construction.
Is it these helmets? Are they?
They are. These are a full safety helmet, and these are becoming the standard.
Love it. I mean, one. I mean, it looks good too.
There you go.
So
it's a Star Wars helmet.
What the heck? All right, so I think we're gonna move on. But hey, everybody, this is Dave Cooper. We are in West Islip, New York. We're at Good Samaritan Hospital. We are doing a pediatric modular addition with the Axis Construction Group and also with MODLIQ out of PA, who is the manufacturer. So we'll be back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Don't be late, neither one of you. All right, and then we're going to be back here at 2 p.m. again. If you have questions, put them in the feed now because we'll ask them or answer them tomorrow. And I mean, that's it. What do you want to say? You got anything to say? He always has something to say.
John says I talk too much. So I thank you for being here, Dave. I mean, this is an opportunity for us to show what we can do collectively together, what the industry can do,
Yep.
how we can help leverage a project like this to do more and be more successful. So,
Right.
Any questions for anyone out there, even particularly within the industry, how we can work together to continue to move the industry forward.
Yeah, we'll go
Appreciate all you've
further together.
Awesome.
If you want to go fast, go alone, but we're going to go further together. All right,
Love
there you go. I can't remember who said it, somebody. All right, thanks everyone. I'm Dave Cooper, and we're going to kill...